Here's Brody Brazil.
I'm going to assume that most of you have never actually seen one of these original renderings of the Oakland Coliseum for two reasons. Number one, these aren't very common. They're just not floating around there widely on the internet. And number two, if you actually remember this, you're probably at least 70 years old, because this is from the early 1960s, and YouTube demographics tell me that not a lot of 70-year-olds are watching my channel. Anyway, so this is what the Coliseum was designed to look like originally. And honestly, the way it turned out, it's actually pretty close. It's surprisingly close to this design. Until you see the actual location. Wait a second. Where is that Coliseum? I recognize the courthouse building. There's Lake Merritt. There's downtown Oakland. And yeah, there's the freeway, but this is a totally different site than where the Coliseum actually sits today. Yeah, it's true. The Oakland Coliseum was originally planned and designed for a different site than where it sits today. They called this the Peralta site, and they almost went with this. To give you a little bit of a better perspective, the Peralta site today is the home of Laney College. You can see the prominent downtown location. Imagine if this had been the home of the Oakland A's for the last 50 plus years, right there. How much different, dare I say, how much improved would this area have been over the years if a stadium had always been right there? The A's would have been decades ahead of the curve by having a downtown ballpark before most other major league teams kind of went with that trend. So instead, the A's end up at the Coliseum site. How did they end up over there instead of downtown? Well, to quote this article, in early 1960, Oakland was considering two spots for its new sports complex. One called Peralta Park, that's the Laney College site, south of Lake Merritt, where Laney College is now, and another near Oakport Road, where the Coliseum was eventually constructed. At a Chamber of Commerce meeting in February 1960, the Peralta plan was the favored spot, but meeting participants shifted their focus to the Oakport Road site. Now, you know where we're at right now with the whole Howard Terminal situation. Just transpose all of this back on the past. You can see how easily a debate happened, influence happened, and they might have made a wrong decision for the location of the Coliseum. City planning engineer Corwin Mosine, I hope I'm saying that right, at the time stressed that the proximity to the downtown area would spur commercial development. The stadium project would have added 7,500 parking spaces to the area, including some under the nearby Nimitz Freeway. Mosine said the site was unexcelled for access because of the nearby freeway and proximity to a planned subway stop on what would eventually become BART. So Mosine saying that this is a great spot for a ballpark here in downtown Oakland, just south of Lake Merritt. But on November 3rd, 1960, as the city started planning how to fund the construction, both sites were still in contention. The Peralta site was expected to be a bit more expensive at $20.9 million versus $17.5 million for the Coliseum. By the end of the year, however, the city council decided to proceed with the Oakport location. Did the city council once before make a mistake with the Coliseum and the home of the A's and ultimately the home of the Raiders for a certain period of time? They might have in the early 1960s. And so this is what we got, the current Coliseum site. And when I hear people say, well, the Coliseum site has been great over the years. Think of all the games and memories and events that have gone off, without a hitch. It's been a good location for the A's. Has it been, though? Like, has the actual location been beneficial to anybody? I mean, certainly the memories that have taken place here, it's because of the people. It's because of the games and the events. But I don't know at all if it has to do anything with the location, or maybe the convenience of two huge parking lots on the north and south side of the complex. And that's what makes this opportunity right there at Howard Terminal so important. This is the opportunity to get the location right for the next venue, for the next home of the Oakland A's. As we look back at history, and maybe something you didn't even know about, they already made a mistake in the location of the Coliseum once. And that was about 60 years ago. So here at Howard Terminal, they have the chance in a second time around to get it right. No offense to the Coliseum complex. Like a lot of you, I grew up learning baseball there. Heck, learning basketball there too. But this site was always kind of a plan B. It used to be owned by the Port of Oakland. As soon as 880 divided it from this Coliseum site to the shoreline, the port said, hey, we don't really need this land. We'll give it to you for a little bit cheaper. City Council went that direction, and the Coliseum is where it is, probably by mistake. So let's not make that mistake again.